can't be too careful when you're a private eye. My partner, Mike, Michelle, she knows everything there is to know about being a private eye. And I know the rest. I'm Ike, and Tuscaloosa's our town. It's a crazy business. One minute you're tying up loose ends in the office, and the next minute... The next minute you're eating pizza. It started out like any other night, and then the phone call came.
It's the mayor, and it's an emergency. The key to the city is missing. There's an old saying about early birds. So, we were back in the office the first thing the next morning. But we weren't looking for worms. We were looking for clues in the case the mayor gave us. Delegates from Tuscaloosa's sister city, Narashino City, Japan, were coming for a visit. The mayor wanted to give them the key to the city, but she couldn't find it. We had a missing key caper on our hands. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. So, we went to one of our best sources, a guy heavily into history.
You want to find the key to the city? Follow me.
I thought the professor was all wet. How could the Black Warrior be the key to Tuscaloosa? But it sort of fell into place when he started talking.
The professor explained that the river brought people here in the first place. Hundreds of years ago, the Indians settled on its banks. There weren't any roads then, so the river was the best way to get from one place to the next. There were Indian villages, large and small, all along this river.
The river was important to the pioneers, too. They could load their crops on boats here and float them to markets such as Mobile. Since Tuscaloosa was as far north as most boats could go on the river, our city became an important trading center. The river is still important to Tuscaloosa. Industries transport millions of tons of coal and other products up and down the Black Warrior. Maybe the professor was onto something.
I got a funny feeling about this case. We started off not knowing where the key is, and now we're not even sure what the key is.
Detective work is a lot like dancing. For every step forward, you take 2 steps back. The river couldn't be the key the mayor was thinking of. How could she present a visiting delegation to Black Warrior River? Our trip to the river left us high and dry.
We were at a dead end, so we did the only thing we could. We ordered another pizza. It may have been an educated guess, or it may have been the pepperoni. Either way, I got a hunch. On top of everything else, we didn't know how long the key to the city had been missing, but I knew where we could find the answer. You can talk about the tools of the detective business. 38 special, or a bobby pin to pick a lock. But for my money, Nothing's better for getting information than one of these babies. A library card.
Here you go.
Thanks.
The library is a good place to find answers. And my city, Tuscaloosa, has a good one.
Hey, I think I found something. Take a look at this, partner. There was good news and bad news in the article. The bad news, the paper was old, 1847 to be exact. But the good news was it gave an address. It didn't make any sense. An open field turned into a park, Capitol Park. But then I realized that this wasn't a vacant field in 1847. There had been a very important building on this very spot. The river made Tuscaloosa such an important trading center in the early 1800s that it was the capital of the state and the center of Alabama's government. But when people started settling all over the state, they needed the capital to be in a more central location, so they wouldn't have to travel so far to conduct official business. The capital was moved to Montgomery. The Capitol building in Tuscaloosa was destroyed a little later, so these ruins are all the evidence we have left.
And when the capital was moved to Montgomery, everyone was probably afraid that a lot of the businesses and people would go with it.
That's right. They thought they had lost the key to the city's progress.
No, I don't buy it. The capital may have been the key to the city a long time ago, but Tuscaloosa's done great since then. This isn't the key that we're looking for.
Another dead end. This is what we call gut check time in the private eye biz. Do you give up just because you've got more questions than a 20-page math test? When the going gets tough, do you decide to quit and watch TV? Do you get out of the kitchen just because the temperature is getting uncomfortable? No, I'll tell you what you do. You guessed it. You fortify yourself and just keep plugging away. Sooner or later, the brakes will fall your way.
Wait a minute. There's one guy who has to know about the key to Tuscaloosa.
As far as I'm concerned, the key to Tuscaloosa is the jobs. If people didn't need me to make keys here, I'd have to go somewhere else to find work.
She had a point, and that meant we had a lot of legwork to do. It's a real job finding out what jobs there are in Tuscaloosa. Some people work for huge organizations. Over 2,500 people work at the Uniroyal Goodrich plant, and they make more than 30,000 tires a day. Gulf States Paper is based in Tuscaloosa, but it sends products all over the nation. Then there's Rochester Products and Pfeiffer Wire. But the largest employer in Tuscaloosa is the University of Alabama. About 3,000 people work there. Everyone from teachers to typists, from coaches to computer experts.
But that's not the half of it. There are plenty of small businesses too. Take our key maker. She works for herself, and she's the only one on the payroll. Thousands of people in Tuscaloosa work like this. Everyone from printers to private eyes.
Hold on. You've got to have the right kind of training and education to be a private eye. The same thing goes for all those other jobs too. It all depends on education and training.
That Mike's one smart cookie. A good education system is as much of a key to a city as good jobs. You can't get a good job without a good education. We were doing so much legwork, I should have invested in a shoe company. But our investigation gave us solid evidence about education in Tuscaloosa. There are city and county schools for students from kindergarten to the 12th grade. Some kids go to private schools. Everyone goes to school somewhere, and in Tuscaloosa, that's a lot of students.
Tuscaloosa is the home of universities and colleges, too. First, there's the University of Alabama. People come from all over the world to learn here, and they study everything from designing airplanes to playing piano. Then there's Stillman College, which began more than 100 years ago as a school for blacks. It's a small school, but it's got a good reputation. And then there's Shelton State Junior College, where a lot of people go to night school even after they have a job. You can never learn too much.
If education's the key to the city, then Tuscaloosa's in great shape. Ike.
Partner, we've been through a lot together, but I'm beginning to wonder if we are ever going to solve this case. We found plenty of keys, but they don't unlock the mystery. Maybe it's time for me to hang up my hat and retire. Just think of all the things I could do.
I could sign up at Para and go play some ball. Or lace up my Reeboks and shop at the mall. I like all the programs at the Natural History Museum. I could tour the Arboretum and go out on a limb. A children's theater troupe might offer me a part. I'd certainly try to add a little dignity to the art. We could go to the lake for a little cast party. We could windsurf too. Cowabunga! Gnarly! I'd like to take in the historical sites. I like to paint too, so local art is a delight. And I'm crazy about sports because, well, after all, where else but Bama do they play such great ball? And let's not forget, I could probably eat at least a couple of tons of my favorite pizza. There's so much to do and my plans are so great. I'll have a slice now. It's pointless to wait.
Hey, what's with all the rhyming? Get a hold of yourself. You're not Dr. Seuss. You're a private eye.
Sorry, I've been under a considerable strain.
We both have. But maybe you've come up with something. Maybe the key to Tuscaloosa is all the great things you can do here. All the things you were imagining.
It's nothing the mayor can give the visiting delegation, though. Let's face the music, kid. We're no closer to solving this case than we were when we took it on.
The next few days went faster than a chocolate chip cookie on a school lunch plate. Ike and I tried to work on our own and got nowhere fast. We turned this town upside down looking for clues. Then we realized that we are partners. We couldn't find the solution working alone. We had to team up if we were going to solve the toughest case we've ever seen.
The day for the presentation of the key to the sister city arrived. The mayor hadn't heard from us. I'll bet she was sweating bullets.
Well, I guess it's time to get started. May I have your attention, please? We welcome our visitors that have traveled so far. We've got to hurry. The mayor's counting on us.
To the car!
This way. We had hoped to make a presentation that would make this visit something special. But I'm afraid that...
Hold your horses, Your Honor. We've cracked the case of the missing key.
And we did it by working together as partners.
That's the key to Tuscaloosa. People working together as partners.
It took some explaining, but everyone caught on. You see, our investigation revealed that everything in Tuscaloosa depends on partnerships, people working together.
Exhibit A, the Adopt a School program. The students in the schools need the advice and knowledge of the businesses.
And the businesses need the talent and hard work of the students. Working alone, nothing would be accomplished, but you can do a lot when you work together. Exhibit B, the anti-litter campaign. Students could pick up all the litter on the street, but if everyone kept littering, there would be more to pick up tomorrow. It takes a partnership to make the campaign a success.
Exhibit C. Have you ever been to the Children's Hands-On Museum? Your guide may have been someone your own age. It's a partnership because they're helping others their own age learn about Tuscaloosa.
And it took a partnership to make this day possible. Tuscaloosa and Narashino City became partners so they could discover more about each other and to learn how the people who live in these cities are alike and how they are different. Just like people, cities can learn more by working together than by working on their own.
And it is with extreme pleasure that I present you the key to our city, our promise to work with you in learning and living. Welcome to Tuscaloosa. We are very proud of our home.
It's not easy being your private eye, but nothing beats the feeling you get when you work with your partner to solve a big mystery.
We felt pretty proud of ourselves. Turns out the mayor was proud of us too, and she gave us a little something to show her appreciation for our work. Nope, you can't be too careful when you're a private eye, but this crazy business has its own rewards. Right, Mike? Hey, partner. It's not polite to talk with your mouth full.